Hello guys, I have returned. How's everyone doing today? I'm just gonna do the usual shill rounds. How's everyone?
What's up, everyone? This is your boy Ken.
Alright, I'm really excited to talk about the topic that we have to talk about today because this is where we start getting into a little bit more sophisticated pressure. This should hopefully not be too far advanced for what you guys are doing so far. But I am pretty excited to start this because I think this is going to be pretty fun. Let me just grab the stream link. Just got off work. Let's fucking go. Yeah, mix time, baby. Not today, Bamkey. Not today. Also, check your DMs, man. At least I think I DM'd you. Did I DM you? I haven't DM'd you. Oh. Never mind, my bad. There. Now check your DMs. Bitch. No, I'm kidding. How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone doing alright? Oh wow, we already have 8 people so far. Got my paper and pen ready. Excellent. I already have a pretty good turnout, and I haven't even really started shilling yet, so hang on. I must do my shill runs. My shill runs are important. If I could remember and not have a brain fart as to where to shill my streams. Ah, there it is. There we go. Copy. Yeah, almost. It's kind of weird. I'm still not used to it. Honestly, tonight's not going to be a super long night. I'm going to practice keeping masterclasses super concise. And I'm not going to try to go over too much. But this is very important. And this, like every character, what we're going to learn today is important for every character to learn. Even more so if you play characters with like -2 normals. So if you're an adult Gohan main, or if you're yeah, exactly. If you're an adult Gohan main, if you're a Beerus main, if you're a Blue Goku main, basically, I mean, it's universal, but it's most potent with those characters. If you're a 21 main, this is one of the most important things to learn, to be honest. Like, this is where what I teach you builds on the basics of what we've learned, and it's going to become a huge deal. I kind of wish more people from the Blue Vegeta Discord would actually join our stream. Every time I go in there and I see people talking about pressure, it makes me really sad. And let's do Vidale. Alright, we have 10 people. So I'm just going to give it like another couple minutes for people to roll in. Basically, the reason why it makes me sad is because I have learned that people are very dumb. And because they are dumb, they tend to, like, the way people experience pressure in different like stages of this game kind of has an impact on how they see the game, if that makes sense. Like, they look at base Vegeta and they kind of get lost in the sauce in a way where, you know, everyone's always talking about his 50-50s and, you know, they're talking about his 50-50s, they're talking about his, you know, his toolkit. And, like, those are very important parts of his toolkit. But, they're not really that big of a deal. Like, even, like, he doesn't really need them. Like, even without them, he has very, very strong pressure. So, I tend to use his 50-50s in tandem with that, if that makes sense. But thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'm going to give a little bit of a turnout, but it looks like we have 12 people and everyone's ready to get started. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Before I begin, who wants to choose my background? What should we... You know what? I think someone suggested islands once. Maybe I'll lab on island. Oh, no, because I did space one time. I'm going to do islands this time. I'm going to do islands. Brian, why? Why are you like this today? All right. Alright, forgot the rest of the combo. Gogeta is red, ultimate mix. That is true. The ultimate scrub character. That's such a cool sound effect. Alright. We definitely have enough people now. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about some very, very, very basic pressure stuff. But this is actually the most important stuff that you see at high level. Probably one of the most important masterclasses for truly taking your pressure to the next level. Before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and review. Everyone should be doing the homework. For those of you that don't know the homework, 2L, 5L, or 4LL into stuff. Either reset like that, 6M, DR, and of course... frame trap. Those are the most important things to learn. If you guys are part of this class, you should be doing them pretty consistently. I want to see you guys go into the lab, and this is a way you can practice it if you guys haven't already. So we're just going to basically hang back, play neutral, and then practice approaching your opponent and starting your pressure. So maybe I'll do something like that. Like that. Okay. And then practice doing that. And then maybe I'll jump back. And practice like that. Or maybe I'll do frame trap. DR. And practice doing different things and approaching your opponents in that regard. Now, the reason why that's important is because we have to remind ourselves of a couple of principles. Number one, create respect to abuse respect. This is how you do both. This is what makes dash resetting so powerful. So we know what a normal reset is. As we know, pressure can only flow in one direction. Usually. Light, light, medium, medium, heavy, special. Light, light, medium, medium, special, heavy. Oh, I'm sorry, heavy, special. Yeah, like that. Cool stuff like that. Block strings. You guys know what block strings are. Block strings are our roadmap. They are how we flow from one end to the other. But the thing is, there's nothing really scary here. Even mid-level players will react to this. You know? They might be less likely to react to that, because that's not what they are usually used to. But we need to keep in mind what a true block string is going to do for us. And we need to be very, very vigilant for that. But most importantly, we're going to talk about resets today. Now, resets are what a lot of you call staggers. I call everything that I'm doing a stagger. So just for definition's sake, a stagger, or a reset, as we'll be calling it for the rest of the video, is when you restart your pressure. So let's see, I went to 2M, and now I'm back to 5L. That's a reset. That's a reset. That's a reset. That's a reset. And so on and so on. And the whole point of your frame traps, generally speaking, your goal when frame trapping is to make your reset timing ambiguous. Because resets incentivize mash. The timing between a lot of resets, depending on the frame data of your character, is going to be very similar to the timing of your frame traps. For example, Gogeta has really, really, really long frame traps. Like that. That delay is huge. How many of you would mash here? See? And that is what buys us so much respect to do. Because the timing is very similar. See? The timing is very, 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 very similar. Yeah, exactly. You want to 30. Point is, you would mash there and then get hit. You can't. You can't even jump that. You can't do anything that's not a frame one thing. And here's the thing. That's a true block string. That's a lot of time. Now, but the thing is, when do we want to reset? We reset for two reasons. We're going to reset to elongate our pressure and make our opponent uncomfortable. Whenever we reset, we're telling our opponents, hey, you're respecting too much, you should mash. And once they realize that, they're going to be like, you're right, I should mash. You thought that was a reset, you fool. That's essentially your goal when resetting. But there are a couple of things that you need to know about resets. Resets can be mashed on. They can be reflected. Although I don't recommend reflecting resets. And the reason why is because... The reason why is because that's why. Anti-reflect strings. For those of you that talk about anti-reflect, that's when they become important. That's when they become important. But here's the thing. Who wants to anti-reflect all the time? Anti-reflecting is kind of useless, in my opinion. And it's rendered useless because of what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to talk about the power of dash. Now, you guys have probably seen this before. This. And you might be wondering, okay, I get it, because, you know, sometimes you space out your normals, you know, and you need to reset because, you know, your 5L lifts, like right there. So a dash makes sense right there, you know? But there is more to it than that. There's a little bit more to it than that. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of principles of dash, going back to our age-old principle, create respect to abuse respect. We're going to touch a little bit on something that I haven't talked about a lot on this stream, but a lot of you guys have asked me for. We're going to talk just a touch about movement. There are two types of movement in this game, or rather two categories of movement in this game. There is aggressive movement, and there is passive or defensive movement. So if we start round start, this is a very passive round start. I'm very safe if my opponent super dashes me. You know, I have time to block. I can call an assist to keep myself safe. I can create space, you know. I can control where I'm landing, avoid them if they try to do something. I can backdash if I need to keep myself safe. That's very passive, because I'm not really gaining any ground. I'm not really aggressing on my opponent. And if I'm honest, I'm not even really making any effort to win neutral. This is purely to end, to essentially keep yourself safe when your opponent is being highly, highly aggressive. So, now, oh, hang on. What's the definition of a frame trap? A frame trap beats mashing. Okay, so a frame trap is basically when you cancel. Basically, it's hard to describe because this game doesn't really have a system like this. But a frame trap is basically when there is a gap where your opponent. A gap just long enough for your opponent to enter or to exit block stun, but not large enough for them to do anything. So they're no longer in block stun, which is what a true block string is. A true block string means they're in block stun all the way to your last normal from your first one. A frame trap means they exit block stun, but not for a long enough period of time for them to actually successfully do anything. So the startup of your next attack is going to stuff anything they attempt to do. That is the point of frame traps. Frame traps are easy 2Ms, essentially. Now, defensive movement is really good. But we never really talk about the most important type of movement. Aggressive movement. This is very aggressive. I'm trying to win neutral. I'm trying to kill this dude. I'm trying to win neutral. I'm trying to I'm trying to imply my game plan. This is aggressive movement. That's aggressive. Now you might be wondering, why are we implementing an aggressive movement in our pressure? A couple of reasons, and I'm going to try to take you through each one of those situations in great detail. Today we're going to talk about what dash resets are, how to use them, when to use them, and most importantly, which characters benefit the most from them. Let's begin. So a dash reset is exactly what it sounds. Doing this dash reset. There you go. You guys get the point. Now, why would we dash reset exactly? What would be the point of dash resets? Well, the thing about dash resets is that even though they're aggressive because they move forward, they move towards the opponent, they're also remarkably safe. If I dash block, you guys can actually see I'm -4. But the thing that you guys may not know about this is that you can actually block from the first frame of dash. You can even dash block theoretically in someone's pressure. See? Now if I do a tight frame trap, see how he blocked almost immediately? See? That's a very tight frame trap right there. And he's blocking almost immediately. You can do the same thing in pressure. If your opponent isn't frame perfect, so let's say give him maybe 4 frames. I can block. Like that. Now you might be wondering, okay, but that kind of gives up my turn. Well, that's just one application of it. Generally speaking, you can't really safely block. A frame perfect mash unless you have a -2 normal. So in some situations, like let's say Beerus, who's -2, like here. See, I dash right after 2S, and I'm -4. It's a tight link. Thankfully, people are not always that frame perfect. But my point being is that dash resetting is very important when it comes to pressuring your opponent because it has a lot of offensive applications too. The first application we're going to talk about is actually a mix-up. So here's the second principle we're going to talk to besides creating respect and abusing respect. It is timing leads to ambiguity, and ambiguity leads to ouchies. The more you make something ambiguous, the higher chance you have of leading to ouchies for your opponent. And we want to create ouchies for our opponent. A great way to mess with somebody who's teching your DRs, blocking your 6Ms, and blocking your 6Hs is to do this. Because this is 4 frames. That's not a lot of time to react. It's very hard to react to the dash. You have to kind of be looking for it. So if someone does, that delays your grab by at least 4 frames and makes them wonder if you're actually going to go for the grab at all. Because that could also be this. That could be that. It could be that. It could be a whole lot of things going on right there. And it makes it just a little bit more ambiguous, which leads to bigger ouchies. And that's what we want when we dash reset. We want those ouchies. So, that's application number 1. Application number 1, it makes everything you do infinitely scarier. And the reason why is because it's an aggressive movement. You're moving forward, which means you are coming towards the opponent. It's the equivalent of doing this. I am coming to punch you. That is what you are communicating to your opponent. Now, here's the problem. The problem with communicating this to your opponent is that your opponent is going to want to do something. This is basically a dare. Hey, do something. Do something. Come on. Come on. Come on. Do something. Come on. And that's when you start messing with them. So now you have a dare that also makes everything you do after it way more ambiguous. Exactly. Come on, do something. Boom. Because they think the dash is coming, so they try to jump, they try to move, they think they have time to do something, and then boom, they get frame trapped. That's why it's important to learn dash resets. Dash resets make everything more ambiguous. And it makes your mix-ups more ambiguous too. Who here is a Kefla main and knows about Kefla's Zoom Zoom mix-ups or 214S mix-ups? I call them Zoom Zooms. Well, Start calls them Zoom Zooms, and then I call them Zoom Zooms, and now you will call them Zoom Zooms. But Zoom Zoom mix-ups look like this. Pretty cool. I'm not going to go through the pain of doing it on GT Goku. I'm going to do it on Bardock. Oh my god. You know, you could do 6H. Now here's the thing that a lot of people don't know about Zoom Zoom mix-ups. Wow. His hurt box is surprisingly small. There you go. Zoom Zoom mix-ups. Very, very hard to react to. Now here's what's important. Okay? Big thing about Zoom Zoom mix-ups. A lot of people tend to just do not that, this. And then just cross up without doing anything. They'll just be like, hey. And then they'll cross up. All right, neat, cool. Cool. Yeah. Cool. But how do we make that scarier? You know what I mean? Because, like, they could just wait and then just react to whatever you're doing. Well, what we've learned so far is that timing or rhythm leads to ambiguity, right? So let's say I'm doing they weren't expecting the assist, right? But here's what I'm doing differently. See, I can cross up from here. Right? Yes, Baby has a few of these. Hi, Mr. Fortune. Yes, Baby does actually have setups for these. You can use his A assist for it. His B assist is kind of mediocre at it because it's so slow. But his A assist is really, really good for Zoom Zoom mix-ups, especially because I also come back. So you just do this. But now, look at that. I'm dashing. So now, what if I do this? Now, oh god, what is he doing? And if I mix that in, they're going to want to act because they are not really sure what's coming to them. That dash signals, I'm going to do something. So what do you tell yourselves? This is the new rule for dash resets. Dashing makes everything else scary. Now, boom. Or even better, you can do meaty DR. Like that. Those are hard to tech. Exactly. So now, that's what makes Kefla so scary. Thank you for subscribing, Top Tie. I appreciate it. Granted, you're already in the Discord as a angel trainee, but I appreciate you coming by, man. But this, very, very scary. And what's even better is if characters have the ability to cross up after dashing. Like that. No, dashing is extremely powerful, and we also haven't covered the full applications and implications of dashing quite yet. Dashing makes everything scary because dashing has a lot of offensive capabilities. It signals to your opponent you're going to do something. So basically, let's pretend like we were in a real-life boxing match. This is the equivalent of a boxer throwing a punch or looking like they're about to throw a punch and then feinting and then pulling back for a real punch. So let's say you feint your right and then throw your hook on your left. That's going to catch someone. Basic mix-up is like that. Like, it's basically like, whoa, oh, you thought I was going to do something. Oh, are you going to do something? Yes, I am. And your opponent's like, oh, God, okay, what happened? Nope, don't do that. It's even better with certain characters. I'm going to do Gogeta because he's so new, and Gogeta has amazing cross-ups. Thank you so much for the subscription, Beastie. I really, really appreciate it. I'll make sure to get you in the subscriber Discord so that way you can learn more. But Gogeta is really, 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 really good at this. Because he has this. He also has this. So now, that is so strong, and even crazier. Oops. That. Same side. Can't really do it as well as Vegito, though. Arxis knew. They knew it would be too powerful. Sad. Sad. Point being, wow. Wow, you can space this out to make it more safe. That is hilarious. Oh my god, every time I touch this character, I find something dumber. Point being, right? Dash resets are going to make everything infinitely scarier. Because they are a threat. See? Just adding dash resets when your opponent is unable to basically react, that's really, really good. But the thing is, of course, they can mash, they can do anything. Yeah, they can do anything. So the real question is, why should we dash reset? What does dash resetting do? And does dash reset have any defensive capabilities? That's what makes dashing so insane with this character. Or I'm sorry, with any character. Is that dash resets are actually incredible. Because, let me show you guys. Hi Daydreams. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the compliment. It actually is on YouTube. We were supposed to link the YouTube link to the, we were actually supposed to link the, and thank you for the follow, by the way. We were supposed to link the YouTube link, I think last time I streamed, which was on Saturday. If it's not there, you guys have to definitely come in. Yeah, no, he can't. Poor Gogeta. It's one of the reasons why his pressure is as weak as it is, unfortunately. You're absolutely correct. If only the shitty Gogeta could do dash resets as well. Yeah, man, I wish. I know you know. I know you know, man. Ken is about to praise Blue Coup. Oh, we'll get to Blue Coup in a bit. Actually, you know what? Kefla can take a back seat for the rest of this one. Because I already touched on Kefla enough. So we're going to actually select Beerus again. Because Beerus is exceptionally good at this. And of course, I got to rep my colors. I'm kind of in a springy mood, actually, so... Kind of in a springy mood. We'll play Minty Gogeta. Kind of looks like spring. And we're going to select a very, very important selection of characters. We're going to pick SSJ Vegeta, Teen Gohan, and Beerus for the enemy team. Can anyone guess why these three characters are in the enemy team right now? DP. For those of you who are like, man, people are mashing too hard, they bait my DPs. That's how you bait DP. If I know that my opponent really, 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 really likes to DP, okay? That's how you bait it. See? DP. Because DP works on that. DP catches normal dash. DP can sometimes catch cross-ups. DP deals with a lot of things. And because it's ambiguous, they think you're going to DP. And then, surprise, surprise, I baited it. If you want to make it extra dirty, I'm actually going to do this with Vegeta. Vegeta. Actually, I'm going to do the Vegeta on Beerus. Nope, that's not the special. That's heavy. That's special. Oh, no, that's medium. That's special. Damn. Xbox notation. There we go. Very nice. You want to make this extra dirty if you're playing Vegeta. Or an assist like Vegeta A, or any Janemba players out there. That's the Fenrich special. The Fenrich special. Baits DP every damn time. And what's cool about that nifty little situation is that it doesn't just work on Beerus mains, and it doesn't just work on really, really good DPs. It also functions as a pseudo mix-up as well, because you can easily just do... and it looks like a dash. Oops. You can even buy time to dash. See how cursed that is? That's the power of dash. Remember, we all go back to the beginning, baby. Ambiguity leads to ouchies. The whole point of a mix-up is never to just make your opponent guess wrong. It's to make them believe I mean, it kind of is. But it's not just a 50-50 that does that. You want to make your opponent believe that their reactions are correct, but what they're reacting to isn't the situation they need to be reacting to. That's why whenever someone's like, well, Goichi blocks, Goichi text DR, Goichi blocks 6M, Goichi, like, how do you open him up without a 50-50? Simple. Make him react to something that isn't actually happening. And even he gets hit by ambiguity because it leads to ouchies. That is a universal principle. That is a universal physical constant. Ambiguity means ouchies, guys. It's in physics. It's just a fact. And you guys have to hold that. And that's what makes dash resetting so important, is when you bait reversals like that. When you bait reversals like that, oof, it's beautiful. And you can make that even more ambiguous by calling an assist. Because another reversal everyone has, including if you're playing the characters I have on the screen, is level... Wrong direction. So here's the thing. Let's say I'm in a situation, I'm playing neutral, and I see Teen Gohan. He has, let's say, 7 bars. Do you really think a Teen Gohan with a DP is going to freaking block? And do you think a player like that is going to use a DP if they have 7 bars and a level 5 on deck? The most powerful level 5 in the game? No. Chances are they likely won't. So, instead of trying to mix Teen Gohan and open him up with a 50-50, why not just let him essentially doom himself for doing what he wants to do? We will let him doom himself for doing what he wants to do. That's all we have to do. So, maybe not like that. That wasn't quite what I intended, because I forget how fast this assist is sometimes. Oh, I could do it with that one. He thought we were going to do something. Why? Because who moves forwards and calls an assist? Boom. Already, 4.7k. And that's the power of dash resets when you couple it with an assist. Now, here's the thing. You also have to threaten a mix here, obviously. And we'll talk about that in more advanced situations, obviously, down the line. But the point being is that dash resets are ambiguous. They make your timing much difficult to deal with. And now you might be wondering, okay, cool. So just to recap, dash resets not only restart your strings, cool. They not only restart your strings, they not only bait your opponent's options, they not only look like they're going to stream buffer, as Ken said. Now here's the thing, pain. Okay, sorry about that. So here's the thing. If dash blocking and dash resetting was so good, when do we do it? Because here's the thing, right? What if the opponent just blocks? Well, if they just block, they're letting you start your string over and over again. Like, this is not good for your defender. This is not great defense, because they're letting you get away with murder, basically. They're letting you abuse that respect for as long as possible. And that's kind of not a situation you really want to be in when a character can do this. So, when do we want to use dash resets? When are the best times to use dash resets? You can use a dash reset whenever, as long as you feel comfortable. If your rhythm is ambiguous enough, I've been doing it off of this button. This button is -9, right? It's the most punishable thing in the world. And then I'm adding a dash on top of it. I'm -13, but I will make people hold it. Because the threat of this is real. I'll also use it off of 5LL. 5S. After 5S, it's very, 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 very powerful. Because there's one other thing that it baits. And this, by the way, is why you never hear me talk about anti-reflect strings. You never hear me go, oh, this character doesn't have anti-reflect strings, so they're not very good. It doesn't matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter with the way I pressure is because if my opponent likes to reflect, why would I want an anti-reflect string play the reflect mind game when they can literally just sit there and block and they're free? It doesn't hurt them at all to reflect if I have an anti-reflect string. It hurts them if they decide to do nothing after my anti-reflect string. But if they have a DP, reflect DP is a legitimate answer, and it will catch a lot of people. So, as you can see, not exactly an ideal situation. So, What do we do about people that like to mash reflect, that are married to 4S? If they whiff reflect, they are minus 35. I have time to go grab a cup of coffee, come back, and 2M them. You reflected because you thought I was going to do something. You can also command grab. Oops, not that. Not that. That. And most importantly, that. And so on, so on, so on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the, I call it the top tie killer. Because this will bait DPs. And the reason why this is so dangerous is because even if your character has a safe DHC, I can just reflect because most DPs don't jail into super. It's very rare. If you're a Beerus main and you think about safe DHCs, they will work sometimes. They will work when they catch your opponent off guard, yes. But if your opponent baits your DP and they know about the setup, all they have to do... And by the way, if you play a DP... If you play a Beerus main, or if you fight a Beerus main, if you bait their DP, do not let them get away with anything. If you bait their DP, get ready for the Vanish 2H. Get ready for the 2M if they land. And most importantly, get ready to reflect. You're already dash blocking. You're holding back already. Just have your finger over the S button. Wait for them to do a super. And then as you see the startup animation, just mash reflects. And then kill. I should have not have brought you to the stream. Just get out of here. Oh no. Oh no. But this is all you need. Because that baits reflects. This baits your opponent's defensive options and allows you to get an optimal punish because it is essentially a 50-50 whether or not you're going to follow that up. They have to guess whether or not that dash is empty and you can cover it by calling an assist. Or if that dash is going to lead to something. It also makes your mix-up stronger. Wow, pain. Pain. Doesn't work on Team Gohan. Pain. Sadness. You know what does work on Team Gohan? No. There we go. By the way, that's 2Hable. Don't hold that. If you guys are playing a Gogeta, just don't hold that. And I assume tagging is a free 2M. No. Because even if they reflect raw tag, reflect behaves in a very specific way. So, when you reflect the normal will behave as though it were blocked, which is why reflect-proof strings work. Now, if a reflect whiffs, okay, you are in recovery. I literally cannot tag until I finish recovery. So, I literally cannot tag until I finish recovering from the move. So, until frame 33 comes around, I cannot do anything. And I am not fully invincible the entire time reflect is out. Because, as you can see, if I were to make him do it again. So right there, that's real. That's real. That's not. So, no matter what, there's no escaping the situation. Whiffing this is as bad as whiffing this. Well, for some characters. It's as bad as whiffing a normal. But worse, actually, because you can't even vanish cancel it, really. Because at least I could do that, you know? I can do something. But reflect whiff? No. No. You might as well whiff the special in front of my face. You might as well have done this. That's not happening. That's not happening. And you just died for it. So... That's the power of dash resets. Now, the big question is, when do we apply this? Well, we apply this, or I begin to use dash resets under a few conditions. The number one most common place that I like to dash reset is when I need to control my spacing. So if I do this, this has a lot of pushback, but even though my normals can reach from here, sometimes I want to go back into my light because my light has a lot more options, and sometimes I want to re-engage in my pressure. So I'll do something like this and come back. And by the way, that's why Key Blast Dash is so good. Because most people tend to reflect after 5S if it's a Key Blast. That baits the reflect. Which is why you don't see a lot of people reflect a whole lot of stuff at high level. Now, that's getting into the reflect mind game. We'll definitely talk about that in higher level situations down the line. We're getting there. But let's keep it simple for now. This 5S, really great time to dash block. Especially if you have a 5S that's kind of like Blue Goku's. Where it's like, let's see if I do a string. It kind of gets safer. Like here, I can true block, essentially. Maybe not there. Yeah, I can. Hey, that's a true block. Meaning, if they're frame perfect and they mash, I block before the fastest thing that they can do. That's really, really, really powerful. You guys got to remember that. Very, very, very good. We'll talk about Blue Goku in a second. Now, there's Beerus. Beerus has a really good Key Blast. 2 of them. And this one you can stagger. So you see how I like to dash up to reset my pressure? Dashing up to reset's very good because they never know if I'm dashing up to reset or if I'm dashing up to mix. Or if I'm baiting something. So if I'll do this, like I'll do this against a Team Gohan. True block string. He's going to want to DP. Nope. Nope. How do you enforce dash resets? My friend Top Tie was likes hitting buttons. Very, very simple. Call an assist. Do it on a safe normal and call an assist. Now, if they press buttons and attack you, make sure your assist, by the way, make sure your assist doesn't disappear when you block. Some do. But stuff like if I call Blue Goku and they mash, nope. He's just going to get hit. It's very safe to do this. And if you want to make it really cool, you can make it really ambiguous and do stuff like this. Because here, I can reset infinitely. And the reason why is because I have the power of dash. So it's like, okay, he can dash. Oh, he's going to dash. I'm going to maybe mash something. No. Mash. Mash. It's not happening. They're not going to mash. Because then that happens. Oops. It's very hard to get frame perfect. But fortunately, it's very hard for your opponent to mash frame perfectly as well. There we go. Got it. It's very hard to do frame perfect, but fortunately, no one does, so don't worry about it. Most people are like 3, 4, sometimes even 5 or 6, sometimes even 10 frames late on the mash, because they're waiting to see what you do. Pain. So you enforce the dash resets. I like to do it off of 5S here, on short strings, if I do a true block string. I also like to do it off lights, because lights have the most flexibility, because it could be a dash reset, or it could be... Oops. You have to get past the insta-kill. So funny thing about the insta-kill. That beats the insta-kill. And he dies for it. And he dies for it. So at that point in time, you might as well just respect. You might as well just block. If you're defending a dash reset, just block. Just block and wait till they commit to an option. So if they do something like that, like if they call in a special like that, okay, time to get out. Now, another time I like to dash resets is obviously after 5L, because 5L has a lot of threats. 2M, 6M, mix, dash up. When else do you want to dash reset or dash block in resets? Another great place to do it. So these are just common places. So far we have after a key blast, that's safe on block. After 5L, and this is a very, very, very good one. Very, very, very important one. You want to do a dash reset on knockdown. Because that baits the wake up DP. That's another time you want to dash reset. Another place to dash reset that's really, really, really good is usually if your character has a 5LL that's -4 at least. I mean, you can do this. You can dash reset even off unsafe buttons. Because, like I said, -7, not that bad. -9, -7, good. And that's another time you want to use it, right there. When you're plus. It makes everything afterwards harder to react to. And so on, so on, so on. Well, that's pretty cool. We've learned a lot. But now, are there any characters that could take your dash blocking to the next level? Then there's this asshole. So for those of you that have complained that it takes an unreactable command grab, that the unreactable command grab's not that strong because he has to dash. Oh, press 1 in the chat if you've heard this argument from a mid-level player. The unreactable command grab's good and all, but it's not that great because you have to dash up. You can't just do it raw out of pressure. This one's my favorite. This is actually my favorite. Why is this my favorite? Well, it's very, very simple. He has an unreactable command grab, and it's true. I can't connect you. I can't connect this. But now we're going to talk about a niche situation that not every character can do, but the characters that do have this can take serious advantage of this. Does your character have a -2 or better normal? That's a true block. I am safe as hell off 4M. That dash block is true. They can be frame perfect mashing, and I will win every time. Because that's broken. Boom. Boom. Now that's kind of gross, because that means that they can't get out of there. Okay, that's fine, but what if they decide to jump? Well, that's another thing about -2 normals. -2 normals actually allow you to delay your follow-up a little bit longer than most other normals can. Oops. Do you want to get hit by that? and so on and so on. Or even better, if they're ready for it. Oops. I didn't even finish the loop, and I'm already at 4,800. If they raw tag, this beats raw tag. Oops. You can do some really funny shit off this. And so on, so on, so on. Yes, it is. Oops, I missed that. Look how much damage I already did. Off of 4M. And people are like, oh, well, the dash is not that strong. It's like, yeah, no. I want you to jump. Please, please try to get out of here. Because what's even better, that's frame perfect, by the way. I'm showing you this. This is an unrealistic situation. This happens 1 in a million times. This will very, very, very rarely happen, and usually it's accidental. Because most of the time, people are late. And people react to lateness. So what usually happens is this. So, a little bit later than that. That happens. Where the level 1 safe jump doesn't work, sometimes level 1 brings them down. They just stay in the air. No. I don't really go for that too much, honestly. So, I'm not sure, to be honest. See? That is likely to happen. So, 4M is one of the dumbest normals in the game, and I am not done yet. Because here's something else that he does. Normally. Now I'm -2 on my 2M. So at this point, I can dash up whenever the hell I want. Now, your opponent may not know this. Maybe your opponent's an idiot. That's okay. Your character can basically do this all day. Oops. And look how slow I'm going. I'm keeping everything nice and steady. And what happens when we make nice and steady rhythms? Press 1 if you got hit. So now, because I'm going steady, because you're ready for me to dash reset, you got hit by the reactable one. Yeah. Timing leads to ambiguity, and ambiguity leads to ouchies. Now, but back to the point. If I'm -2, I can true dash reset anytime I want. Now, my frame data doesn't actually matter. I don't really pay that much attention to it in real matches. And most of the time, you're not always going to be super frame perfect because it doesn't matter. The point is, your opponent, especially if they're good or they know about this character, knows how dangerous that is. And because I can dash up at any point in time that I want, any time this character dashes, it's a 50-50. They have to guess between reset or grab. Now, of course, there's an OS that's called delay jump. Okay. You might be wondering, okay, but what if they delay the jump by perfectly 8 frames? It doesn't matter because most people are usually not that precise. And more importantly, that's assuming between 2L, and grab. Those are not my only options. Because I can dash reset and do this. Who sees where this is going? Or my personal favorite. Let them mash. Just dash and call and assist. Great way to reset your turn. So at that point, I'm walking back. And walk back 2M. Just about perfectly frame kills. So if you are not absolutely on point with that jump, you're eating a TOD. Now, that's the beautiful thing. If you hold this, I have to spend an assist, okay? Oops. That's almost 5k. If I do that, fine. It's just a lot of damage. But versus this, I kill you for free. And that, my friends, is how abusive the power of dash resets are in the hands of this broken-ass character. If anybody tells you Blue Goku's not that strong, if Lord Knight tells you that Blue Goku's not that strong, no. No. This character is broken. Because here's another thing that he's got. Who sees where this is going? Or even better. Let's say they reflect the actual blast itself. Let's delay it a little bit so that way we're on time. Nope. A little bit more. I'm +5. And guess what that means? Ambiguity leads to ouchies. Because I get, no matter what, even if you reflect, a free dash. If you don't feel like spending the assist, I'm so rusty with Bluku loops. Gotta practice them again. Gotta hit people with them again. I kind of miss this character, even though I'm loving Gogeta right now. I actually really miss Bluku. Yeah, this character's broken. Just jump the grab, bro. It's hard to find him boring to play when you can do stuff like this. It's hard to find him boring when you can do that. Can any other character do similar things to what Bluku does when dash resets? The reason why is because this character lives and dies by dash resets. If you are not dash resetting, you are not playing Beerus. And the reason why he lives and dies by the dash resets is because see? He is so good at creating an ambiguous situation. And what's really messed up about him... Let's see if I can do this. Yeah. Oh. No, his 2-all's broken. Look at that. 7 minus 3? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. He can hold that. I'm with Ryan. Do not give this man more. Yeah. Oh, you meant Bluku. He's pretty dull combo-wise, but I do like his... he's dull combo-wise unless you have the right assist. Because this is really fun. Nope, that's not even what I was going to do, actually. This. That's very satisfying to hit. Off a DR, by the way. And that's not even optimized. That's COVID-friendly. But, I digress. The point is, with Beerus... With Beerus... His dash resets are potent. And the reason why his dash resets are potent is because he needs to make everything he's doing ambiguous. Because if he's ambiguous successfully... Boom. Car cancel. DR. The thing about this character and the way he works, I'm just going to touch on him briefly. This is a serious threat because this, if it hits you, it's a 50-50. Let's see if I can get. Oh my god. In the corner, at least. It's a 50-50. This, as well, is a 50-50. Now, there are OSs that you can do against it. You can stand block it. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. You can reflect. You can blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, that is a situation that is incredibly ambiguous for your opponent. And his ability to set that up ambiguously is what makes him so strong. Because he can always just do that. And fill the screen with shits that you're not counting on. So you do this. See? It's very hard to figure out exactly what he's doing. It's very, very hard to figure out exactly what he's doing. And then the fact that he has a 50-50 at any point a potential 50-50, I should say, is really strong. And that's what makes this so good. Because now, they're watching the orb. Gotcha. So yeah, Beerus gets a lot out of dash resets, especially because his normals are a little bit on the stubbier side. Another character that benefits a lot from dash resets. Oh, I didn't select the character. That's unfortunate. Why did I do that? I messed up. I'm bad at this game. Beerus' pressure is OD. But not a lot of Beerus mains take advantage of the thing that makes him broken. Okay, how would I dash pressure with Baby since all his normals are super slow? That's the thing, Misfortune, that I'm actually about to get to, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way and immediately I hope you don't. I hope you don't not consider subscribing when I tell you this. But Baby kind of can't. Baby sucks. That's one of the reasons why I actually don't like Baby, and I do consider him lower on the tier list. Is actually because he doesn't have the ability to utilize dash resets as effectively. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Which other character uses dash resets incredibly well? You guessed it. These three characters also use dash resets incredibly well. Base Vegeta, not so much. Like, Base Vegeta does use them very well. But it's not that strong. And the reason, and I'll explain why. I will grab Baby, just to demonstrate. It kind of is. I mean, don't get me wrong. It depends on what you mean by fake. Because if by fake you mean this character isn't really that effective at rotating his options to make it ambiguous for your opponent, then yes, you are correct. His pressure is very fake. If you mean like, oh, he can't really do any cool true string 50-50 mix-ups, it doesn't matter. Like, that's not why he's bad. But she's got this. And the reason why this is so effective is because of a visual mix-up. She can dash reset very safely. But she can also do this. No, not that, sorry. That, which looks kind of like a dash. She also has this. That's another thing that allows for dash resets to be so powerful. Is that, remember, dashes into mix-ups are powerful. The ability to dash block and then cross up a small is huge. Especially with how safe this JM is. Because now, is she going to reset? You know? Boom. And that's how you take advantage of that with 21. 21 also has this. Also has that. So she has a lot of options to bait the same side. Because she could do this. And this is where it gets really strong. Because that looks like she's going to cross up. No. And that baits the 2H. So be careful. An unreachable low. Okay, yes, he's got a cross up and an unreactable low. It just feels so hard to open up. Because his so here's the thing. His cross up stuff isn't necessarily the safest in the world. Because once you use it with a Ki Blast, your opponent has the ability to guard, cancel, reflect. You're putting yourself at risk if you try to open them up. And because he can't do it off, he can only do it off certain things. And he can't really hide those things very well. It's very, very, very hard for him to successfully get it. Now, here's Kefla. Kefla is really good at this as well. Because that. She also has that. Oh my god. I forgot my timings. Oh my god. Pain. Can I use something with the kind of dash feint? Yes, you can. In fact, high-level Trunkses do it all the time. And 17s as well. Yep. Yes, you can. But that, coupled with that, coupled with that, coupled with that, is very, very hard for your opponent to deal with. It all creates a level of ambiguity that's just really, really, really hard for your opponent to kind of figure out what the hell is happening. Thank you so much for the follow, Misfortune. I really, really appreciate it. Good to see you here, man, and I hope you're enjoying the content. How well does Tohan do it? Not the best. Now, Tohan does it fairly well because of this. His 5M is -3. So that means he can dash reset pretty freely. But the problem is, yeah, his dash kind of messes up his spacing a little bit. Because he's going to want to do... If you're a Team Gohan main, the mix you want to be doing is... this. Oh my god, it's even hard to do it on Kefla. That. And so on, so on, so on. Bardock is good at dash canceling. Yes, because Bardock can also threaten a move that's plus on block. And Bardock has a lot of safe normals, and Bardock can do this. Very, very well. So the base Vegeta is kind of good because he can do this. But he doesn't get anything particularly dirty off him. It's not like Bluku. I mean, he could do this, which is strong. Just like Bluku. But it's not as good. You know what I mean? It's not the best. It's not the best because he doesn't really have a command grab that he can threaten you with. His dash resets are not as scary because he has fewer options off of the dash. So, you know, it's not the best. His cross-ups are also not absolutely, you know, amazing. He could do this, which is pretty cool. But so could Bluku, and Bluku has a command grab afterwards. So, you know, you take what you can. Then there's Gogeta. Gogeta might actually have the dirtiest thing at high level. Because Gogeta has... He has this. So he can... This. And then he can fake you out with... that. And that. You can also do that. And one of the reasons why he's so strong is because this looks like that, kind of. And that looks like that. Because they're going to see the circle, and people who tech DR are going to see the circle. And they're going to be like, oh shit, I got to tech this DR. And this looks like he's dashing forward, like DR. See the similarities? That's going to throw people off guard. They're going to get hit by that. And if they get hit by that, can you react and punish 6S? Of course you can. Of course you can react. But the reason why that's so powerful is not because they, like the whole, like this is very punishable. But what if I do this? Oops. Oops. You have no button that can reach me here. And I can just do this, and then that. This is not difficult to react to, but the fact that it can be so many options looks really, really daring. The whole... We'll talk about Gogeta's success in depth on another day. But the point being is that he has a lot of options off dash. And characters that have a lot of options off dash, their dash resets are a lot more incentivized. He also has plus frames off of his overheads. And his overhead special here is -2. Which means he can dash block safely after a special and reset his turn if he wants to. Your opponent can jump that, and there is no frame trap that they can use to keep themselves... there is no frame trap that he can use to keep themselves safe. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. And so on and so on. Point being, this character's dash resets are incredible. Especially because this is such a big threat. He can dash up for free. Because you don't know if that is a dash or that's his 5M. So you don't want to mess with him too much. Because then there's that. And that's a frame trap. By the way, if you manage to avoid and jump the frame trap, that's a medium starter. You kind of die. Let's see. No, I don't want a frame trap. Get hit! Oh my god. Oh man, I can't even... There we go. I'm plus. So yeah, these are characters, and these are some of the ways that you can abuse a dash reset. And that, my friends, I'm going to leave you with. And this is your next homework. Practice mixing in your dash resets with your homework. Now, here's a very, very important warning about dash resets. If you are a defender and you see somebody dash resetting a lot, you can start getting comfortable mashing. Because you're going to take your turn back because at some point they're being too obvious. Kind of. Yes, he does. Because Janemba also has his an actual dash. Oops. Yes, he does. I think Janemba does really good at dash resets. Yes, he can. He is really good. He doesn't really have that many threats. But the fact that he has really good frame data on a lot of his specials, and the fact that he has really good mix-ups that are visually ambiguous, yeah, he can take advantage of dashing pretty well. But yeah, Bardock is also good at dash canceling. You're correct. Couldn't I use the same or similar kind of dash reset with Trunks 214S, Feint, or 17 236M? I believe I answered that question, but to answer it again, yes, he can. Can Krillin dash reset? His jobs are really small. Or his jabs are really small. Yes, he can, and he is another character that is really dirty at it for a very specific reason. Of course. No worries. No problem, Izzy. Let's see. Let me do something. See if I remember how to play. Yep. That's why. I feel like I don't have to show anymore. That's why. And what's really, really dirty is that. Similar to that. What with extra steps. So So yes, Krillin can abuse dash resets extremely well. They knew what they were doing when they made this character very stubby. By the way, Krillin mains, this is not plus. You can dash block after it and bait something, but be careful. This is not plus. But yeah. And that's why so many at high level will see this and respect it. And that's what makes this so dirty. Very good frame data. That's okay. Very good frame data. Yeah. Is it reactable and mashed out of? Of course it's reactable. This is... So, this is actually going to be a part where I can actually correct a misconception. Reaction is not a binary. If you are too obsessed with whether or not a mix is reactable or not, in my opinion, you're not thinking about it correctly. The first step is this reactable or not? And if it is reactable, that's fine. Reactable stuff works all the time. And the reason why reactable stuff works all the time is because whether or not something works doesn't really depend on their ability to react to it. It depends on their ability to react to it correctly. That's the problem. I could want my opponent to react to it. If I'm doing something with Krillin where I'm doing this, I want them to react to it. Because that's an overhead. I want them to 2H incorrectly, and then I want to be safe. I can also call an assist to threaten it and reset my turn. I can also do that. I can also do this. I can also do this. I have so many ways out of this situation that it would be OD. The only problem with this is that Krillin has really bad air buttons. And his bad buttons, in my opinion, is one of the biggest reasons why he's not going to be played. This is extremely bad. This is extremely bad. This is extremely bad. And the reason why that's a problem is because I effectively can't cross up my opponent. It makes it really, really hard to cross up the opponent, so I can't up the threat of being able to do this. But I can DR. But yeah. Can it be mashed out of? Sure. But here's the thing. What if they're wrong? If they mash out on you and you're consistently getting mashed out on, are you making that situation ambiguous enough? Or is your opponent trying to tell you you've used this trick too much and it's time to rely on other options? So that's a little bit of a caveat when it comes to dash resetting. Now, I want to talk about a character that doesn't have very good pressure. This character. This, not a good button to reset off of. This is okay. But these staggers feel very weak and very forced. He has very few options here, so he can't really do much. Because he's so unsafe on everything, except a handful of buttons. That's a cool frame trap. But the problem is, he doesn't have enough opportunity to vary his rhythm. So Gogeta, or Team Gohan, can do that, or he can do... Boom. Baby's not as good at doing that. And he has very few options to threaten to make real threats without setting stuff up in advance. So, like, he needs a success, you know, he needs a whole bunch of things that essentially help him. And Baby's pressure is just really not that threatening at the end of the day. But now you guys understand a little bit about dash resets. And that is essentially going to be our night, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. I really appreciate you guys being here. I will be around to answer. I'll round out the next 25 minutes or so. I can answer questions. Your homework is now 2L, 5L, dash. On top of all of the options that you've been using, I want you to practice dash resetting, practice with your assists, and use this especially when your opponents are using DP a lot. If your opponent likes to DP, don't forget to threaten a dash every now and again to bait it. Thank you so much, guys. Let's see. I'm hearing the character sounds clips even when they're not there. Yeah. I'm not sure what to do about that, but thank you for letting me know, Play Guy. I'll definitely look into it on the VOD. Thank you so much. Good night. Good Sash Ken, very much. All right. So, do you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything that you would like to know? Does SSB Gogeta B assist exist? No, it doesn't. It's a myth. Next question. It's not a stream issue. It's just my mind having the sound there. I got you. Okay. How do you make Gogeta slide back far when you use success? Spacing. So when you interrupt, so basically Dragon Ball relies on what's called a Gatling system. And a Gatling system, for those of you that don't know and haven't heard me describe it for like the billionth time, essentially a Gatling system is when you cancel the startup or you cancel the recovery of one normal into the startup of another. Most fighting games, you have to wait for the whole move to recover before you can start the next one, which is why certain moves deal a certain amount of hit stun and they can only link into certain normals. In Dragon Ball, you can actually cancel it as long as it's in the flow that the Gatling system wants you to go in. In this case, it is 2L, 5L. It's like, 5L, I'm sorry, LL, MM, H, in that direction. Because you can cancel things very early, you can negate pushback. See? So if I let that recover, that's not as much pushback. But if I do this, that's more pushback. And because my opponent is probably not aware of this, unless they're very high level, that's how I get it. See? So basically, cancel it a little bit early. Okay, thank you for answering the question. I am just very predictable with my 236M with Krillin. Currently running X, Beerus A, Krillin A. Still searching for a point for the team. If you're interested in Blue Goku would love your team. A lot. A lot. Gogeta probably works as well. Definitely keep looking. Team Gohan doesn't mind your team too much. Kefla would be okay with your team, although I would run a beam with her. Just because she doesn't really take advantage of rocks as well. But yeah, definitely keep searching. Just be a little bit more ambiguous. Stagger more with Krillin. Krillin has really decent stagger pressure. I don't think his ability to abuse the respect is that strong, but he does have built-in mix-ups, which are pretty nice. I see. That can be very useful for catching mashing. That's the point. Just so you know, I'm on guard all. If you want to make it even more ambiguous, there you go. And that right there, by the way, is the power of a good jab. That's another VOD you guys should check out when this one's done. I'm using Gogeta, Bardock B, and Baby B. Is that a good team? Which Gogeta? Super Saiyan 4, I suppose? Yeah. You don't see why not. Seems good. I'm not a huge fan of Baby, to be perfectly honest, so you'll never hear me say very many good things about him. But if you like him and he's working out for you, he's a decent team. Do I think that that team has viability at high level? Probably not, to be completely honest. And I would run Baby A with Gogeta, just because Gogeta... I mean, universal movement is going to make up for a lot of what this character's weaknesses are, and his only real weakness at this point is neutral. But, yeah. How do I get these kids not to sleep on Bardock? Bardock is sleep, because that's the thing that a lot of people need to understand. Bardock, as interesting and as really cool as he is, and as fundamental as he is, he's also very tired. We've seen him for the last 3 years. We're tired of Bardock. Like, I don't want to see Bardock anymore. Do I think Bardock is really cool? Yeah, of course. Do I love playing Bardock and pressuring with Bardock? Yeah, but it's been... Nah, I'm good. Gogeta is probably the new Bardock. No. Gogeta is dirtier than Bardock ever was. Gogeta is filthy because Bardock can't do this. Oops. Can't do that. Quadruple overheads. Fun. Yep. That was a quad overhead. The team I want to try is 21 Videl and Kefla. Not sure if it's good. I just want to build a team around Videl. One of another fellow student of yours actually plays that. Shout outs to Sucrose Collision on Twitch. Sugar Crash, you guys may know her in the Kefla Discord. She is a pretty decent Videl Kefla 21 player. I really, really like her play style, so she could probably vouch for the team more than I do, but I do like the team. I think that team is pretty cool. I would be careful with redundant assists, and I would find out more what Videl likes, but Videl really does like both of their assists, so I don't think you have anything to worry about. The only thing is pretty low DHC damage. That might hurt you if you're trying to kill, but be careful. You like Baby A more than Baby B? I do. I like Baby A a lot because it's such a good assist. It's very fast. It's flexible. It's very hard to react to. It's just barely reactable. And it's got pretty good block stun when they respect it. Baby B is broken in a lot of regards, but it's also kind of not broken in a lot of regards. And it's kind of uneven, in my opinion. And it makes neutral very uninteresting. Let's see. Videl 21 Kefla is real strong, beats me up regular. Well, do you think Jiren can use dash reset pressure very well? How did I forget Jiren? Yes, Jiren is probably one of the best characters at it, just like Bluku. But yes, Jiren uses it incredibly well. Mostly because he can reset indefinitely, and there's very little you can do about it. But more importantly, you can do that. There you go. Press 1 if you got hit. Yep. 50-50. Yep. Got it. 50-50. I definitely need a 50-50. Yep. There you go. Jiren is very good at this. Very good at this because he can also do this. So he could just bait, essentially. Which is very good pressure because he could do this, call an assist, take his turn. So on, so on, so on. Repeats ad nauseum. But yes, Jiren is very, very, very good at the... very, very good at the... very, very good at dash resets. All right. Any more questions, chat? I'll be here for another 15 minutes. I'll round it out at a nice 2 hours. I've actually considered Jiren for my team because of the Gropey shell. Yeah. Jiren will work with your team. Wow, you can actually hear the voice lines in your head. It's not that you can hear the voice lines in your head. I just have the voices extremely low. Mostly because I find the voice lines kind of distracting sometimes. I don't know. I'm going through a phase. This character's pressure is dumb. Permanent team crisis. Okay. Let's see. Is there a difference between Blueku and Base Vegeta that have the same toolkits, right? Yeah, they don't really have the same toolkit. They just have the same JS. They have completely different game plans. Base Vegeta likes to zone you out, and Base Vegeta likes to make it very, very difficult for you to approach, so that way he can get in on his terms. Blueku only has one direction, forward. If you're moving back with Blueku, you're losing. How close to dumb is Jiren's pressure to Gogeta's? Fairly close. Both of these characters are really, really dumb. In my opinion, I think Gogeta might have the best pressure in the entire game, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, I honestly think his pressure is probably the strongest amongst the entire cast. Jiren's, however, is really, really, really exceptional. So, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. Before Gogeta, I was actually considering Jiren for a COVID-friendly version of my main team. I like Jiren. He doesn't really have the... Well, I mean, I want to say he doesn't have the neutral for me. His combos are weird, but I like him. I would have done it, but I decided to go full tilt into Blue Goku, and I saw that Blue Goku got so much more from Beerus A, in my opinion, that I didn't really care for it. I didn't really need to do it anymore. Because all of my... I got my COVID-friendly damage from Beerus A extensions. What do you think are good point characters for a 21 Janemba shell? Kefla would be really, really, really strong. Blue Goku would be extremely strong. Teen Gohan, incredibly strong. That's actually Bamkey. If you're in the chat, that's actually Bamkey's main team. Teen Gohan, 21 Janemba. Bardock would probably be okay. Gogeta would probably like that team as well. So yeah, you have quite a few options to choose from, but those would be my top picks. No problem. I like how 2L shakes the screen violently. Yep. Yeah, I know that 2L has a lot of like crazy... It feels powerful. It's so good. There's a lot of force behind that punch. This jab is really good, actually. I like this 5L. Do you mean in the... Okay, who is stronger, Jiren or Uiku? Are we talking about the show or the game? Because in the game, that's not even a real question. UI. Free. Even now. Even post-nerfed UI is still stronger than Jiren. Post-nerf UI is still pretty dumb. Level 3 G punches you so hard you explode. Yeah. Oh. My shoulders hurt, chat. I am also very sleepy. I see the numbers of viewers going up, and it makes me feel bad every time I have to go. I'm trying to think of a good question. Any question you guys have, anything that you want to know. You need Jiren's 2L massage your shoulders. Oh yes. Oh my god, that would be amazing. That would actually be genuinely amazing if someone could just Jiren 2L my shoulders. Honestly, there are some characters like they have some animations where I'm like, man, that looks like it would be a really great massage. Get Shoyomo on this. Yo. Yeah, we should. That would be really funny. But, let's see. New message treatment. Shatter your back. Can't have back pain with no damn back. You are absolutely correct. Have the Beerus 5L massage. Oh, no, because then every other one would miss. Man, for all my talks of good jabs, does GT like to do dash resets? Yes. GT has very, very, very good pressure. He's actually, in my opinion, the perfect character to practice dash pressure with because it's really, really good. Kefla Vegito double leg massage. That's a bit too much. Who was I picking again? I was gonna do GT. Can I get a bread in the chat for his A assist? You will be missed. You carried so many people at top level that don't know how to play neutral. They'll actually have to learn how to play neutral now. Rest in peace, GT. Rest in peace. You served us well. But yes, GT would do this. See? See? Yep. You can also do stuff like that. Stuff like that. Like that. He's got pogo mix-ups, which are cool. So, yeah. You can use dash resets pretty effectively. You can also same side as well. That's pretty strong. The angle is still good, is what I would say if it jailed me to the ground. Yeah. 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 It is kind of pain, to be completely honest. How is the assist nerfed? That's how. It used to be the fastest beam in the game, and it used to be 30 frames of block stun. Moment of silence. Moment of silence indeed. All right, guys. So that just about wraps up everything that I have for this. An edited version of this will probably remove the last 15 minutes. Also, how good is Keflas 236M? Very, very, very good, but very, 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 very risky. Don't do it unless you are 100% sure about your aim, and don't do it unless you are 100% confident in your timing. If that move whiffs, you die. But if it hits, pretty good, especially if you have a beam to gel them into. It's free neutral. But yeah, guys, that just about wraps us up for the evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys learned the power of dash resets. Once again, the homework is going to be incorporating dash resets into your stagger pressure. So I want to see 2L, 5L dash, 4L dash on top of your other options that you've been practicing, such as 6M, DR, and things like that. And then I want you to practice mixing up off of dash. So 2L, 5L, dash up, DR, things like that. Make sure you keep it up. Also, I'm probably going to cut these last 15 minutes. Well, that's because I wanted you guys to, have any questions after the thing. I threw a lot of information at you, so I wanted you to have the time to get those misunderstandings cleared out. Please keep in mind, if you haven't already subscribed to me, guys, tier 1 subs and upwards actually get access to a subscriber only Discord where you get unfettered access to me and Star, where we can actually do one-on-one training. We hold ring matches there fairly regularly where I can evaluate your play, and you become candidates for different events that we have coming up, including a tournament that we're actually planning for subscribers. So if you're interested in joining the tournament and training with us and seeing what we're all about, please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. If you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Go ahead and, like and subscribe. Leave everything up. As far as stuff that we have planned this week, because it is a brand new week, tomorrow we'll be back for ring match evaluations. Ring match evaluations are going to be completely open to everyone, including followers. You guys are more than welcome to actually pass by and get evaluated by what we call angel trainees in the Discord, which will either be Bamkey or Azure R, depending on who I can get tomorrow. I intend to see some really cool stuff. That'll be really, really fun. Another thing that we have planned coming up very soon is Star and I are recording a podcast, and we're going to edit it down. We're going to have that up on YouTube pretty soon, especially now that we have some art for it. We will be talking about rollback netcode, and we have a very special offer now where if you subscribe to us, you're actually more than welcome to listen to a live recording of us actually recording the podcast, so that way you can get unedited little tidbits, because they will be heavily edited, no cursing and no anything on YouTube. But once we got that done, it's going to be really, really cool. Expect more masterclasses coming up, and we have a very, very special debut of a new series that we would like to do on the stream on Saturday, where we will be doing a character breakdown. If you guys are interested in having a say for the character breakdown, please follow us at Twitter at space_Z, and going ahead and contributing to that poll. You can vote on the 4 characters that are up, and whoever has the most votes by the end of the week will be the character that we do the breakdown for. No, you guys have till Friday. But Vidal looks like she's winning. So the characters so far are Vidal, Bardock, Bluku, and I forgot Kefla. How did I forget my main? So if you guys want us to do a full breakdown where we explore all of the viability, all their tools and their viability at high level, please go ahead and follow us on Twitter, so that way you can go ahead and like and subscribe and stay updated with any channel updates moving forward. Once again, thank you so much, guys. That's going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace.